start doing this, to do life on the road occasionally, and also the subject matter, I guess, was timely because your theme menopause is perfect for you.
Right. Actually, I started at 63, right on this Funny Bone stage. I did an open mic, and the open mic got a standing ovation. There were like 20 people on the stage. I was maybe number 19, and most of the people sitting around here were falling asleep because some people were funny, some people weren't. And so I came up with this idea. I went to the DJ booth and I said, can you play, because nobody walked up on the stage with music. And so I said, can you play a song for me, the Wobble, I believe it was, because I wanted to wake the crowd up. So he played the Wobble and I walked up here, and I like to dance when I get on stage. People started waking up and clapping. Then I knew I had the audience. But it wasn't really in my life's plan or on a vision board to do stand-up comedy. I just wanted to see if I was funny to strangers, because my friends and family always thought I was funny. So I said, let me get on the stage and see if strangers think I'm funny. And I was funny, and the rest is history.
Menopause.
Menopause. Oh, that's my stick. When I get on stage, I always let the people know that it's not the queen, it's menopause, because I like spicy words, and I don't want them to think the queen talks like that. So it's my ultra ego menopause.
But a lot of humor. Everyone develops their own sense of humor, which is play. Observational humor about other people, also about yourself, and there's a lot of yourself in that, in your personal life.
Oh, most definitely. I talk about my personal life. I talk about my journey with diabetes. I tell them how I can't say the word, but I used to really tear up a whole fried chicken. And I tell them about that. Even at the end, I will bring up my husband's recovering from compulsive gambling, and I'll bring that up. And I tell about my personal life, me and my husband's sex life. Ow! And I talk about it all. I try to bring it all. And this is going to be my last show, so I'm going to bring everything I got to the table.
What made you decide that now is the time to finally stop? Just because you're 75, right?
No, I'm 73 right now.
70. Okay, so 63 to 73.
Right. What
made you decide that, you know what, it's time to walk away from that?
Well, I decided that I wanted to leave while I'm on top. I didn't want to get on stage and couldn't remember my jokes and stumbling up the steps, peeing on myself with my Depends on stage. I didn't want to get to that. I wanted to get out now where people could remember the queen, that she's still funny. I didn't want them to walk away saying, ooh, queen, I don't know if I want to go see her again. So that's why I decided to get out.
It's looking back on the time you were doing it, it was a blast getting to go out and do it, huh?
Yes, I've had some wonderful times. I've met some wonderful people. Like, I started in January of 2013, right on this stage. November of 2013 is when I met Monique. She came here to do a show. And I was sitting like right about the center stage right there. And when she was on stage performing, she kept looking at me. And she was like, just kept looking at me. And I'm like, ooh. I'm laughing. So when she got off the stage, she walked around, walked to where I was sitting, gave me a big hug and whispered in my ear and said, I don't know who you are, young lady, but you're beautiful. And I had such a connection with you when I was on the stage. I don't want you to think I'm a lesbian, as she calls it. But she said, I had such a connection with you. And so I said, when you were talking about your weight loss, it reminded me of my story, because I had lost 55 pounds due to me being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. And had I not lost that weight, I would have never had the courage to get on the stage and perform. So when she was talking about that, it reminded me of my life. So that's why I guess we had that connection. Plus, I asked to take a picture with her, and she said she would have her security come out and get me, which she normally doesn't do, bring, audience members back to the green room, but they came and got me, and I told her the rest of my story about my diabetes, about how I got on this stage like 10 months prior, how I got a standing ovation, and she asked me point blank right on the spot in the green room, will you open up for me tomorrow? Had never seen my stage presence, my set, my act, or anything. I left here like I couldn't sleep the whole night. What am I gonna say and make Monique feel like I'm funny? And so I got up there, she gave me 8 minutes, I did my set, and I sat right behind you. And there was a young gentleman security tapped me on my shoulder and said, Monique wants to see you in the green room. So I got up and followed him to the green room. And when I went back there, she had tears coming down her face because she said, I have never seen a 63-year-old woman get on stage and command the stage like you did and have these people laughing until they couldn't laugh no more. And she asked me then, this was the next night, will you come to Columbus and open up for me at the Funny Bone in Columbus? And the rest is history. I've been to the Apollo Theater, I've been to Las Vegas, I've been to this club out in Pleasanton, California called Tommy T's. I've been local comedy clubs here, I've been private parties, church event, all in 10 years. But I give her the credit because had it not been for her, I don't think I would have gone the places, especially the Apollo Theater, that I had gone to.
What do you like the most out of performing, and what will you miss the most?
What I like the most is laughter. I like to bring laughter because I think laughter heals, it's good medicine. And I would probably miss being on stage. But I had sort of started winding down anyway. So I want to venture off into some other avenues, possibly writing a book about my life, starting comedy at 63, making that run for 10 years, and was still funny. I remember one time when I was in Pleasanton, California at this comedy club, Tommy T's. Monique told me she seen me rise from the stage. It was like I left my body and was performing. And I'm like, wow, that's a compliment. I met Paul Mooney in California, famous comedian that wrote jokes for Richard Pryor and others. He told me I was funny. I've had other big time comedians tell me I was funny. Richard Pryor's son, I met him at the Apollo Theater. And he told me, he said, Queen, you're funny up there on that stage. I took it all good because these are big time people telling this local hometown girl that she's funny.
It's hard to break into. Real quick, you're a local gal.
Yes.
Where'd you go to high school, that kind of stuff, or what part of town did you grow up in, or anything?
Yes, I'm local, and I grew up, I grew up in Detroit, Michigan. I went there when I was 2 years old. I stayed there till I was 9. And when I came back to Toledo, I went to Gunkel Junior High. I think it's Gunkel Elementary.
What part of town is that? Is that?
That's like on Nebraska and City Park Division area.
Yeah, it's called something else now. I think it's maybe MLK, something like that.
Yeah, something.
It's changed.
It's changed
a new
the
school.
name.
What high school did you go to?
And then I went to Libby High School.
Libby.
And I graduated in 1967. And then I went to Stossenberger Business College for a year. I took up business because I always wanted to be a secretary, and I was that most of my life. That's why I'm so detail oriented. I cross every T and I dot every I, and you better not be late. I let you know 30 minutes before that I was here, that's what I do.
Love a bunch. All right, that's all. That's it.
Oh, that's it? That's all you need?
Yeah, we get some shots for you guys. Hang loose.
Loose this. There we go. You can pull that out.
Oh, put it up.
There you go.
Okay, let me hit that